Hello, welcome to Doobie News. Today we'll be looking into a documentary about due process. Let's get into it.
Alright, so due process is a right for all U.S. citizens. It is fair treatment through normal judicial system, especially as a citizen's entitlement. There are two types of due process of law, procedural, and substantive procedural due process is based on the concept of fundamental fairness. Substantive is a principle allowing courts to protect certain fundamental rights from government interference, even if procedural protections are present on the rights are not specifically mentioned elsewhere in the U.S. Constitution.
We will now talk about some court cases that made a big decision with due process.
I am Patrick Prom, the owner of AP Law Firm. Have you ever been treated unfairly by police, search and seize without probable cause, got stopped by police for no reason? At AP Law Firm, we can make sure you get your rights back. All you have to do is call 858-246-1122. In a matter of days, you will be treated like a normal American citizen.
The court case of Olivero Martinez was a very interesting court case. Olivero was riding his bike home after a long day of work. He was minding his own business when he was stopped by police.
When the police stopped him, they tried to detain him. That's when things got rough. Martinez refused to get handcuffed. That's when he got shot, which resulted in permanent paralysis and loss of vision.
A year later, after the shooting, Martinez sued the officers, pleading the search and use of deadly force were unconstitutional.
In the court, officers brought visual evidence of Martinez in the hospital of him admitting that he grabbed the gun of the officer during the struggle.
But Martinez argued that the tape could not be used as evidence in the court because he never got told his Miranda rights.
The district court ruled that Martinez and the tape was inadmissible.
Well, now we're going to take a commercial break. When we get back, we'll head over to Tommy and Oliver and they will talk about the other court case.
Have you ever been driving and got into an accident with another person or been pulled over by the police and had no video evidence to back up your story? Well, don't fear. The AP Super Dash Cam is here to give you a fair trial. For just $69, you can get a dash cam that videotapes 24/7 when you're driving. Just give me a call at 619-619-6199. Call me now for a dash cam so I can save your life.
Message from our sponsors.
Welcome back to Doobie News.
September 1973 and January 1974 saw two similar Supreme Court cases regarding due process and the 14th Amendment from Chicago schools. The first was in 1973, a sixth grader, Silas Briscoe, whose family sued Clara Barton Elementary School for denying his right to due process when Briscoe received a 20-day suspension for violating the dress code banning earrings. He refused to take off his earrings because it wasn't a symbol of gang affiliation, but a symbol of black pride.
The second in 1974 regarded a freshman, Darius Pfeiffer. He also received a 20-day suspension from the school for violating the drug policy. Pfeiffer and his family also sued the school for violation of the 14th Amendment for the right to due process. The school did not offer or either of the students an appeal to their 20-day suspension. The court consolidated the two cases for trial as they seek the same reward. Both prosecutors sought to be awarded declaratory and injunctive relief plus a sum of money to cover damage while the student was suspended from school in denial of the right of due process.
The court ruled that 8-0 that both schools violated the students' 14th Amendment right, but did not grant the money reward as the prosecutors were unable to prove any damage caused or injury caused by the unconstitutional suspension. Hello, I'm Judge Oliver Bonnet, and I will be selling my personal autobiography on due process today for only $19.99. Some of the things I highlight in my book are what an unbiased trial is, the opportunities to present reasons why proposed action should not be taken, and knowing the opposing evidence as well as all requirements needed for a fair trial. Another thing I highlight in my autobiography is Judge Henry Friendly's list of 10 procedures that remains the basis for due process today.
Welcome to the interview part of this documentary. I will be asking Hal a few questions about due process and his thoughts on the problems of it. So Hal, What do you think about the problems of due process? Are there any at all?
Nothing is perfect in this world. With every great idea, there always is a bad side. The good doesn't overweigh the bad thought in the due process.
What are some of the issues with due process?
The right to equal the protection of the law. The informality of restorative processes might hide discrimination on the basis of race, gender, ethnic background, or the protected status.
Any others?
The right to freedom from torture and cruel, inhuman, and degrading treatment or punishment. This issue was raised in the early days of restorative justice when the concept of reintegrative shaming was linked with restrictive programs.
Thank you for your time.
Thanks for joining me in this segment. We are lucky to have Patrick in our studio today.
Thanks for having me.
What is due process?
See, due process is best defined in one word: fairness. Throughout U.S. history, its constitution and statutes and case law have provided standards for fair treatment for citizens by federal, state, and local governments. Due process right established by the 14th Amendment guarantees that the government cannot take a person's basic rights to life, liberty, or property. Without due process of law, the due process right is designed to protect citizens from actions taken by state government, counties, towns, and cities.
So, what are some of the main elements of due process?
The right to receive fair notice of the hearing, the right to secure the assistance of counsel, the right to cross-examine witnesses, a written decision with reasons based on evidence introduced with an opportunity to appeal the decision.
What are some requirements for due process?
Due process requirements vary depending on situations. At a minimum, due process means that a citizen who will be affected by a government decision must be given advance excuse me. Government decisions must be given advance notice of what the government plans to do and how the government's action may deprive them of life, liberty, or property.
Thank you for taking your time out of the day and doing this interview.
Thank you, sir.
Thanks for tuning in to Doobie News and watching our documentary about due process. I hope you learned something that you're able to use in the future or when you're able to use when you get in trouble. Alright, thanks for tuning in.